The river swallowed half of Kala village in one night. Rain fell like the sky had cracked open. Mud walls melted. Roofs collapsed. People screamed as water dragged goats, cooking pots, and children into the darkness. When morning came, Kala looked like a graveyard. Among the missing was 6-year-old Tund. They found his body 2 days later, tangled in tree roots downstream. His neck was bent. His eyes were open. His skin was pale and bloated. His mother, Saad, fainted when she saw him. The elders wrapped Tund in white cloth and buried him quickly. No drums. No long prayers. The ground was still too wet. Everyone wanted the nightmare to end. That night, Saad heard knocking. Soft. Slow. Talk, talk, talk. She thought she was dreaming. Then a small voice called, "Mama." Her heart stopped. She sat up. "Mama, open the door." Her husband grabbed her arm. "It's the wind," he whispered. The knocking came again. "Mama, I'm cold," Saad screamed. Her husband rushed to the door and flung it open. Tund stood outside, barefoot, covered in mud. Smiling, Saad collapsed. The boy looked exactly like Tund. Same face, same scar on his chin, same small crooked tooth. But his skin was dry, too dry, like old leather. "You buried me," Tund said softly. Saad crawled toward him. My son," she hugged him. He did not hug back. His arms hung stiff at his sides. He smelled like wet soil. They brought him inside. Neighbors gathered. Some cried with joy. Some stared in silence. Old Mama Ifyinanya took one look at the boy and spat on the ground. "That is not a child," she said. The boy turned his head slowly toward her. His smile widened. Mama Ifyinanya began screaming. Blood poured from her nose. She dropped dead. Panic exploded. People ran. Others prayed. The boy remained calm, still smiling. That night, Tund sat on the floor of his parents' hut. He did not blink. He did not sleep. He did not breathe. Saad watched his chest. It never rose. Yet he spoke. "Papa, why did you cry when they put me in the ground?" His father shook violently. "You were dead," he whispered. Tund tilted his head. "I was awake." That night, goats screamed. By morning, 3 goats were found dead. Their stomachs were torn open. Their organs were missing. Red handprints covered the walls of the goat pen. Tiny handprints. Child-sized. The boy licked his fingers. "I was hungry," he said. Saad vomited. The elders met. They decided the boy must be taken to the river priest. Before they could move him, the boy stood. "I don't like strangers touching me." The hut door slammed shut by itself. Dark water began leaking from the walls. The floor turned soft like mud. The boy's feet sank slightly into the ground. His eyes turned black. "I didn't come back alone," he said. That night, screams filled Kala. People saw shadows crawling out of puddles, hands rising from the mud, faces forming in wet earth, children's voices crying beneath the ground. By dawn, 12 villagers were dead. Their bodies were half buried in their own huts. Only their heads remained above ground. Frozen in terror, the boy sat outside, playing with mud, humming. Mama Ifyinanya's voice came from his mouth. "Welcome us." Saad finally understood. Whatever wore her son's face was a doorway. The flood had opened something that learned Tund's shape. The priest arrived with charms and fire. He stared at the boy and began shaking. "This is not a spirit," he whispered. "It is the hunger of the river itself." They poured holy oil on the boy. His skin bubbled, but he did not scream. He laughed. The priest set him on fire. The boy burned. His skin peeled. Underneath was not flesh. It was wet black mud. Inside the mud, many faces moved. Tund's face. Mama Ifyinanya's face. The goat's face. Smiling. The thing collapsed into a heap of steaming sludge. The priest ordered it buried far from the village. They dug a deep pit and covered it with salt, ash, and iron scraps. Kala burned the boy's old grave. They fled the village 2 days later. Kala became abandoned. But during heavy rains, travelers passing near the ruins sometimes hear knocking. Soft, slow. Talk, talk, talk. "Mama, I'm cold." And if anyone answers, something wearing a child's smile comes home again, face screaming in fear.